Wrong password. Nope, still wrong. Yeah. All right. It's Travell. He's back, and he had some complications getting this Tuesday show up. But anyways, massive Mega Tuesday show. I'm not good at winking. So let's get right into it. First movie I saw. Back a step. Tuesday show for the. I guess not the week this time, being the Mega Tuesday show that is. For July 20th all the way till August 2nd. First on the list is the horror movie From Beyond from the 80s, based on the H.P. Lovecraft story. Directed by Stuart Gordon, I believe, who also did Reanimator. Yet to watch that one, but I've heard nothing but good things. From Beyond was cool. I don't know really what else to say. Like it was a fun watch. Really good effects. Check it out. I don't know. It's been a while since I shot one of these. Next was Swamp Thing, the 1980 adaptation of the DC Comics character, directed by Wes Craven. Man, am I a fan of Swamp Thing comics. Man, this movie was bad. It was weird how much they tried to follow the comics, but then they seemed to have lost their budget along the way. They did 3 explosions and then forgot to budget some for the costume of the Swamp Thing, because, oh boy, wasn't pretty. Next, I watched the Lego Movie. What else can you say that you haven't heard about the Lego Movie already? It's really funny, really creative, looks gorgeous, excellent animation, great cast, great writing. Check it out, man. Next, I watched a movie that I saw a lot growing up. Weirdly enough, in school seemed to be the primary location where I saw this movie. Just whatever reason, they played this one a lot. Zoom. Superhero Academy, Tim Allen comedy from like '06, I believe. Oh boy, has not aged well at all. Not only the effects haven't aged, it's really misogynistic. Courtney Cox plays this I can't even remember her job specifically, but oh boy, they did not treat her with any sort of respect in any shape or form. It was dated. It was bad. It was one of the worst movies I've ever seen, actually. I don't recommend checking out Zoom. Not at all. Next, I watched The Matrix. Great movie. It is dated as well, but it's more fun dated. Some of the effects, yeah, have aged, but I still really like the story, although, arguable about whether it's original or not. I still enjoy The Matrix. Good action, good story, great. I like the characters. It's basically a live action anime, which is cool, even if it's done by not Japanese people. It's definitely anime seems to be the Wachowskis' main influence into coming towards The Matrix. I like it. And sequels. The next movie I watched was Pokemon the Movie 2000. And let me tell you, that was quite the event. Great lines, fun watch. Not too much else to it though. If you like Pokemon, if you want to throw something on at a party, maybe Pokemon 2000, but overall, meh. Then Pokemon the Movie 3 Spell of the Unknown. Comparatively, much better. Surprising. I was just thrown off guard by how good it was and the kind of subject matter that they didn't address directly but did bring up. It was kind of like this weird head trip in psychology of this little girl. It was kind of messed up, but also really cool. Just weird that it was a Pokemon movie. I'd check it out. Emperor's New Groove, the Disney movie from the early 2000s with David Spade and John Goodman. If you've been on the internet at all, you're well aware of this movie. It is hilarious. It's well written, great animation, great lines, really funny. It stands the test of time as is. Next, I saw The Book of Life. It's a very interesting movie. I won't say it's perfect. Well, it's not perfect. It has a lot of flaws to it. But it tries. And it's different. The design is excellent in the movie. But it doesn't completely... some choices along the way were maybe not the best. And some parts of the storytelling are pretty dated. Feel old. 90s even. Like that far regressed. But cool animation, cool character design, great story overall. Some of the character stuff. Weirdest part is the American rock and pop songs in this Spanish-based movie, Mexican-based movie. Next I saw Shrek 2. A lot of meme-based movies this week. I watched a lot in this time period. So not even that this is just a mega episode, because I watched because it's 2 weeks, but I also watched a lot in those 2 weeks. That said, Shrek 2, it's good, it's really funny. It's all sounding pretty repetitive. I watched a lot of good movies. Maybe, okay, I'll get into some bad ones coming up. Some more talking points, but I'm also trying to just whip right by. It's already been like 10 minutes. Okay, next I saw Ghostbusters, the brand new one. And guess what? There's a podcast all about Ghostbusters, the old one, which I also watched this week. But I talk about both with my boy, Ace Pilot 00, Screenplay Sidekicks podcast. Check it out. Then I watched the new DC animated movie, Batman the Killing Joke, adaptation of the Alan Moore story, constantly called one of the greatest comic book Batman stories, probably comic book stories. I myself maybe had too much hype going into it when I first read the comic and found it rather meh. Good ending, other stuff meh. The need to... At the time, I understand how shocking it was to do that to a character like Barbara Gordon and have all these ramifications. But now, these days, not that it's any less shocking, it just seems unnecessary to do that to the character. But the movie was bad. It wasn't good. The stuff they added... Because it's a short comic, so to lengthen this out, they had to add stuff, of course. Stuff they added wasn't very good. There's an awful stereotype of a gay man who's her best friend. Spoilers, I guess. Batman and Batgirl fuck. Why? It's not good. I had some fears going into it, not just because I'm not a big fan of the comic, but all the stuff leading up to this movie coming out did not give me high hopes, and it's not very good. Next I saw Guardians of the Galaxy, probably my favorite Marvel Cinematic Universe movie. Uh, but like it's an awesome movie, and but I also have an attachment to James Gunn. I love his movies, and compared to all the other Marvel movies, this one actually feels, like the director's kind of movie. Like this feels like a James Gunn movie, although it happens to be attached to the Marvel universe, compared to say Kenneth Branagh's Thor. Some of the stuff in the beginning feels like a Branaugh movie, but not all of it. Or even like Favreau and Iron Man. I'm not too familiar with Favreau's work. Maybe I shouldn't be talking about this. Next, I saw Super, another James Gunn movie I've been wanting to see for a long time, with Rainn Wilson, Kevin Bacon, Ellen Page. That was the name I was thinking of. Love her. Super was a weird, fucked up, hilarious, amazing, totally batshit crazy movie. I loved it. But it's weird and not for everyone. Then I watched 22 Jump Street. Now, the first one I thought was okay. It was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. But it still was overall kind of meh on the first one. This one, although I don't have a lot of attachment to the characters, and even by the end of the movie, I'm still not really attached to the characters of the 21 Jump Street universe, per se. Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum, I don't remember their character names. This movie, however, was really funny and better than the first one. It's the same team that did Lego Movie, which is the reason I went back to check it out after all this time. I really enjoyed it. It was really funny. It's hard to talk about comedies on this show. Right. Then the last movie I saw was Pokemon Forever, another Pokemon movie. I forgot I had watched it till I started already hit record on this. It's alright. It's a bit like Evangelion, actually. Moments reminded me of Evangelion, which is weird in a Pokemon movie. But overall, it wasn't that memorable. On to TV. Graphic theme song, television. So two major things I watched on TV in these weeks. I finally finished Orange is the New Black Season 4, which, disappointment, really. I thought I had a strong start, but the further and further I got, the writing fell apart, characters stopped acting like themselves, and they just did worse and worse things to the characters, which stopped feeling natural to the show and more just felt, I can't think of the words, felt forced. And it felt like it was meant to shock, but it didn't have any weight to it. There's a big thing at the end I won't talk about because it's a big spoiler, I guess. But by the point of getting to the end, I had already lost so much interest in these characters and the story going on that it didn't really affect me. I also guessed what was happening, but that's beside the point. It still didn't affect me, which is a shame because I binge watched most of the seasons leading up to this, and I really learned to like this show. Because of this fourth season, I've gone back and reevaluated, and it's overall an okay show, but I'm not sure if I'll give next season a chance. Maybe a couple episodes, but if it's the same, next season's not gonna be good for me. On a brighter note, I watched the first season of Stranger Things, which before I heard all the hype after it came out, like people actually seeing the show and discussing their opinions on it, I didn't think I was gonna like it. For whatever reason, I'm not a big fan of like the Spielberg-y nostalgia of the 80s, the Spielberg 80s. For whatever reason, when directors and like creative teams try to recapture that, I'm personally not a fan. It just doesn't work. Super 8 was as close to it working, and even then, Super 8 is kind of a movie I've fallen out of love with. But Stranger Things turned out to be less Spielberg and more Stephen King and John Carpenter, with a bit of like Guillermo del Toro mixed in, and it was amazing. I loved it. I grew so attached to the characters. The world they set up was fantastic. The freaking amazing soundtrack. Great visuals. The effects were good and bad. There's some stuff that looked really good. Other stuff that looked, yeah, it's a TV show. TV show effects, so what can you do? You're not Game of Thrones Season 6 with $1 million at your disposal. Millions of dollars, I should clarify. But Stranger Things was really good. It got me really excited for whatever this team does next, and really excited for Season 2. If you like 80s horror, or even just 80s, you'd probably enjoy it. It is scary, though. I will give that warning out. It's been a while since I've been scared watching something, so it surprised me. I really enjoyed Stranger Things. Mega episode. Tuesday show. Totally not Wednesday when I'm recording and hopefully putting this up on. Totally not the case. I did not sleep through the entirety of Tuesday. That is not the case. Hardly Working Hippies. Hippies Place. Screenplay Sidekicks. Tune Mates. All those things. Last week's show. I'm running out of timer as I can only record 20 minutes at a time. Go watch things. I want Wendy's. I'm gonna go to Wendy's as soon as I'm done editing this. Maybe before, maybe after.